What's good, YouTube family? This right here is the Lexus RC 300. Now, ever since I first saw this car on the commercial, of course, it piqued my interest. One, because it's rear-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure it's rear-wheel drive. And it's a coupe. And it's the RC. Like, I think it was the RC 350 that was, like, the most popular one. The RC versions of the Lexus are like, they're like eye-catching. Like, I don't even know what the words are for it, but if you're definitely a Lexus fan, this one will hit. Now, when you first look at it, it's really sleek. Like, that's what I know. It's like being up close to it, you can appreciate these angles on here. Got that luxury sport look to it, you know? Now, what I mean by luxury sport is, look at these bylines. The way that that back part flares out right there. It's a sharp point right there. Probably not something you would notice unless you're really looking at it. That edge right there, that back, the swooping back body line right there, that's what really got my attention. First, with the Lexus RC editions, the RC 300 being this one. Now, if you look at it, like no lie, it does have a sexy look to it. And this is very sporty, look at me sport kind of car looking, especially with that bright red color and these dramatic tail lights. These tail lights are very dramatic. The whole body, this whole car is dramatic in a stylistic way. I think Lexus went with this new model to get more Lexus fans, you know, because it's rear wheel drive, you know. That speaks to sporty people, but this is for like rear wheel drive Lexus fans, right? Below your eyes, kind of looks like the new Supra. It looks like a G37. It slightly looks like a BRZ, but bigger. But I'd say the car that looks closest to this, realistically, what I'd say would like a G37. G37 is Infinity. Lexus Infinity is a luxury version of Nissan, and Lexus is the luxury version of Toyota. Both iconic Japanese car brands, which both give you really good, they have some good cars out there, you know? No wonder this does look similar to the new Supra. Not exactly the same, but it's kind of like off that same idea of spark where these kind of cars are popular, you know, rear wheel drive, you know, lightweight, not a very big car, but still it's got a little bit of stance to it. I think this one's a little bit bigger than a Supra, but Lexus edition. Now, since we're already outside, pop the trunk. See what that looks like. I like it when I got the option to push start or push the pop trunk for these videos. I'm popping it so you guys can see what it looks like and see how fast it opens up. Let's look at this. How much space is really in here? I'd say that's a decent amount of space, especially for Lexus. Ooh, unless I had taken a close look, I would have never known that there's little buttons right here. You can unlock it or lock. Why would you want this locked? You want the prisoners not to be able to get out? Like, this is like, but at least it's lockable and unlockable from the trunk. I don't get that though. I don't know why you'd want to be able to lock it, unlock it from within the trunk. It should just be unlocked. I mean, why is there an option to lock? Or maybe there's somebody in the trunk you don't want your passengers to know about. I don't know. Totally joking. Another thing that caught my eye right away, like I said, dramatic. As soon as I close this trunk, you see how much this sticks out right here. This is just part of the tail light. This is like the upper lip for the tail light. And you see how much it sticks off of the actual body. Like the body's here, but this like, it's like the tail lights got their own spoiler. Let's look inside though. That's nice right here. This is come with like some wood grain on there. Now there's something about Lexus, no matter how new this is, when I look at this interior, these buttons, this steering wheel looks very much like Toyota. It looks like something I've seen in the 4Runner, you know. I'm not talking mess about the car. I'm just saying, like, they don't really make it look too much more different from Toyota. I don't know if it's parts that get swapped over, but a lot of these buttons, they look like simple buttons that you would see in like your Toyota or something. But one thing I will say that is nice about the interior of this car, there are some differences. Now you see this little pad right here, touch pad for controlling this right here. I'm not sure what models of Toyota's got those. These seats are actually pretty nice. I like it when they put the stylistic design, you know, with the stitching in there. You know, it's got like a little handle. Oops. Ooh, magnetic. I didn't realize that this little thing right here is magnetic. So it's like a little, I don't know why it's magnetic, but it is. Hey. the little button. Just for you to pull that. I guess maybe you could pop that off, take it off, leave it on. It's adjustable. You can do what you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop inside this thing so you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and get in first. I gotta move this seat back. Whoever was in here before was like 5'3" or something. Man, look at this, man. I gotta really put this seat back to be able to get in here. Whew, there we go. There we go. And after I get in there, it ain't bad. You know, it's just like any other car. You know, it's suited for people who are kind of tall, but I'm like 6 feet tall, and like I turn my head and like Bob almost slashed my head right here on this on the B pillar right here. This is kind of low. Like this is low for even like the lowest, most squished profile car I ever had was a '93 Honda Prelude, and that one, this is the ride off the ground was standard height, but the seats inside were just so, the seats were literally sitting on the floor. So I didn't have this problem, but it's like the interior, you know, with the dash and the way the armrest lays out, it's like meant for you to be up a little bit higher, you know, because if you go down low, for your head to clear, now it's almost like I can barely, like, I gotta look over. What's over there? You know, especially if you're getting first started in this car. So just something to look out for. You know, and I get right here. But just let me turn this thing on, actually. Now, I know you saw that. The steering wheel went down after I turned it on. So there's a couple things that's different about this car. Come a little closer. I hopped back in after moving the camera and literally busted my head on this thing. I'm so used to being able to hop in the car and be able to adjust a little bit, but you got to plan accordingly hopping into this car. Otherwise, you're hitting your head on the B pillar. There's fixed paddle shifters fixed on the steering wheel. So I like the way they look, like the way that it's like a hard plastic. They're not aluminum or anything, but it'd be cool if there was like ones that are fixed. So you know when you're driving, but I think it could take a little bit of getting used to. But you know, the human mind is capable of amazing things, so you can adapt to it. You see, you got all your little switches right here. Adjustable for your steering wheel right here. It can go in and out, front, back. Now when I come inside, nice quiet interior. I don't hear no engine noise. I don't hear no cars outside either. I don't hear much of anything. So on here, it's not full digital, normal speedometer, RPM. It has like a tiny little digital screen right there. Nice little regular digital screen right here. It's not touchscreen. It'd be kind of crazy if it was touchscreen being that far away. You got your controls right here. Oh, shit, that's cool. The way this feels, you can feel it. I can feel it jumping around. Like it goes down over here. You can feel that. So this is very responsive up here, and I kind of like that. And you feel like there's like a little, as if there's like a little person there thumping up against your finger whenever you move it. Like you move across, you feel a thump. No, that's cool right there. I like that. That's probably the coolest thing I felt all day. Driver mode's right here. I think it's already in sport. Adjusting right here. Oh, this is technology right here. Okay, I see you, Lexus. I see you, Lexus. Now what I notice about Lexus is it's very simplistic and resembles Toyota in a way, but the way the technology is used around the buttons is different. You see what I'm saying? Now these right here. This is accurate. This is like it's sensitive. I move down. I like that. It goes all the way down to the nitty gritty, and it's adjustable on both sides. You know, so if you want an individual, if I want a controller, I'm controlling everybody. It still has a normal clock, but it's lit up. You know, it's a modern style clock. You know, it doesn't have like numbers in there. So this I think is going to age well. This clock is going to age well because it doesn't have numbers. It's not a font. Only font you see is where it says Lexus in there. So that's going to age well. This may age well, these little features, but this little gauge right here, that's not going to age very well. The way it looks simple, and it doesn't look like there's much technology in here. Just a quick glance until you actually start looking at it and start playing with stuff. Like, okay, you look, okay, now this looks like a basic button, but this is actually heated and cooled seats right there. You know, it doesn't look fancy like other ones have, like Tesla has or something, or even the Cadillacs have. Their buttons look a little fancier. This looks like, it just looks like it's out of place. It's got a little extra cluster. Maybe something else goes there. There's some extra buttons. Now here's some extra little features that are hidden unless you set the signal off. Now you see these right here? There's those sensors that are not illuminated unless you need them. And when you look at the interior, like the seats, this leather color of the seats matches the trim. See that trim right here? And this right here is like a soft. This is actual This is real soft touch. It's like it's actually soft, not like a hard leather that's like squishy. You can technically leave it damaged. This is soft touch. This is actual. This is not even. This isn't even soft. This is hard soft. You see, I was like, it's kind of foamy. I can leave an indentation with my finger. Straight hard, and then full soft. I guess that makes sense. So then your arm can rest on it. Let's check out here. It's a pretty small glove compartment. I guess that's all you need for your RC300. Still has a traditional key right there, so you can lock it instead of having to push some digital button. If your battery's dead, it doesn't work no more, you know, and have to get the battery charged before you can even open it up. Key. Sometimes just a regular key just works. Before I pop the hood, I'm gonna hop in the back so you can see what it looks like for me to squeeze up in here. Now, I'd be lying if I said that was easy to get in and out of. It's not because it's a terribly low car. You got this bump you got to get over. You got to get in between the steering wheel, and you got to watch out for this B-pillar because you will bust your head on that. And I've had lower cars. I don't know what it is. The thing is just, maybe I'm just not used to having a low car. All right, let's see how this thing goes. All right, so I'm gonna pull. I'm pretending I'm passenger. Hey, Jimmo, can you let me in the back? Yeah, I'll go pull the thing there. Okay, so I pull this, and then this electronically moves the seat forward. So that's nice. That's cool. So I don't have to be a passenger having to really force that thing and having to have a lot of muscle. So I hop in the back. It's not that bad back here. Let's see what I do to get it back. Okay. You just push it back, and then the seat automatically comes back like that. Oh my God. Hold on. Now sitting behind myself, I'm actually crushed back here. My knees are not crushed, but my feet did get sandwiched. And it doesn't help that I got big feet, so my foot got squished. It's not too difficult. Oh God, like the seat goes down a bit first. So it squished my feet a little bit more, then it started going. But you got vents right here. You got speakers here on both sides back here, you know, so smaller people could sit in the back, no problem. Maybe a woman or a smaller male, you know, maybe 5'6" below, sit in the back here, no problem. If you wear like size 8 shoe or something, you know, but not no big cloppers like these. You know, your foot's gonna get squished in here, and it's kind of unsettling because I get claustrophobic sitting in the back of here because there's no way out. Like this thing right here, if the battery died with me sitting in the back seat, you wouldn't be able to get out because this is electric. You have to even be strategic with getting out of the back as well. It's not the easiest car to get in and out of, whether you're in the back or the front. Keep this in mind. This car comes from Japan, right? Now, what size are people in Japan? Now, I know they make cars so everyone in the world can use them, but when I'm hopping in my car and I'm hitting my head right here in this B-pillar, it makes me think that maybe this car was made for someone a little bit smaller. You can adjust the seat so my head doesn't hit it, but now I feel like I can't see. I feel like you have to get used to driving this car first to sit in this lower position, because now the armrest is higher, like it's in a more relaxed position. But when you're first driving a car, you don't want to get in the most relaxed position. You crash like that. You need to sit up first. Sit up straight. Drawback of sitting up straight in the Lexus RC300 is, bust your head right there in the cranium dome, man. You lose about 10 brain cells every time. 10, 20. I'm going to pop the hood real quick. Let's check out the engine. All right, so I'm going to do my one-hand test. Let's see if I can do my one-hand test. Well, I like to do it without even looking and just see if I can figure out how to do it. There we go. So it's not as fancy, so it doesn't go up all the way. I have to push it up a little bit. It's turbo. See that right there? I can tell it's turbo just from having that right there. That's a heat shield right there. There's no vents. Turbocharged cars should always have some kind of vents. My car don't got no vents either. It's a damn shame. But if you have a turbo car, they should automatically make it with vents, so then these engines can have the way of cooling down a lot better. Besides just your radiator, we need a vent so then air can directly escape out of the engine, baby. Because when you live in areas like Arizona, it gets hot as shit out here, man. The engine doesn't sound too great right now. It kind of sounds stock. One thing I know about turbocharged cars, if you find the right people, you can get these cars tuned, get so much damn power out of them. Because turbos give you power from PSI, the amount of PSI that the turbo pumps into the engine. Most turbos stock are set to about maybe 5-6 psi. An easy way to tell how much power you're going to get from your turbo: Earth's atmospheric pressure is 14.7 pounds of pressure per inch, I think. So if you got 14 psi on your turbo, your power is doubled basically. You see where I'm going with this? So if I put 30 psi from the turbo, you're going to be pushing some good numbers. That's how people get 900 horsepower engines with turbocharged. But never just go crazy with your tuning right away. You got to make sure your engine's natural connecting rods, the piston, the blocks, all that stuff is strong to even handle something like that. Otherwise, for like some of these custom builds, people get the whole engine block rebuilt. You don't want to get a vehicle like this crazy tuned, like pushing 14 psi right away. You got to make sure you got parts that are strong enough to support the power that you're trying to put onto said vehicle. One last thing that I feel like is worth noting about this car: now it has some pretty big brakes. It looks like 4-piston brakes right here. Now it doesn't say Brembo or Toyota Special or Lexus Special, but just looking at them, I can tell you some big brake calipers, and they look like they're probably 4 or 6-piston brake calipers. But in the back you got the, of course, downgraded Special. Like every other vehicle, the back is always downgraded unless you got the top-notch one. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, now I do a lot of videos on cars. If you in Arizona, come down here to Earnhardt Chandler Cadillac, Gilbert, Arizona. They treat me good. They'll treat you good too. And if you like this car, come on down here and get it. This is Slay Edge Media. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.